ladies and gentlemen, from where I sit, I want to believe that you are wise. I want to believe that you can hate Raila's political ideologies without looking at all his tribesmen as your enemy. I just mean that you can fail to subscribe to Raila's ideologies without attacking your fellow Lumenders. And I want to believe that you can hate Rigathi Gachagwa's political ideologies, but you will not bring in the Kikuyu community thinking that Rigathi and the Kikuyus are the same. Because the last time I checked, your neighbor is a Kikuyu, a Luya, a Luo, but you've never seen Rigathi Gachagua when you share toilets, when you share your kitchen, when you lack some pill of salt and you want to beg from your neighbor or ask. You've never seen them. You might not even want to subscribe to Ruto's political ideologies, the hyped taxes, the punitive taxes and corruption in the country. But you must not link it to all the Kalenjin community, because the last time I checked, Ruto is not Kalenjins. These are our neighbors who live together. And so, even as people go on exercising their constitutional, privileges, we must not degenerate into a situation where we kill each other. That is something that I want to believe we are wise. Those who took 1,000 shillings yesterday plus pangas, nendeni mweke panga chini, kuleni pesa pole pole, because there is a life after demonstrations. We only have one country. I really needed to make that very clear. I have friends here who are Kikuyus, Kambas, Meru, Waluya. We live in a cordially, because those are my friends. Those are the people, they are my neighbors. When I fall sick today, I will not call Gachagua or Raila or Ruto or whoever. I will call my next neighbor. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let us exercise our political differences without attacking each other. That is the sweetness of democracy, that we can disagree on ideologies but not go physical, killing each other. Now, away from that, the government has gone into arresting spree. They are arresting opposition leaders. And one person who has been updating us on this is Philip Itale, who is the director of communication in Raila Odinga's office. Now, there are three things that he's saying, and I want us to delve so much into this. We will go directly. Number one, let's go and see. A while ago, he was saying that unknown people in plain clothes suspected to be police officers from the DCI have abducted Raila's bodyguard and Maurice Ogeta while driving to work, bundled him in the car boot and driven away with him to unknown destination. His whereabouts still remain unknown. So Raila's bodyguard, that is a very close ally of Raila Odinga. Your bodyguard guards everything. And so he has been abducted away by unknown people. Italy was also telling us a few minutes ago, or hours, that police have a few minutes ago raided the house of Raila Odinga's spokesman, Dennis Onyango, along Bagadi Way, ransacked and arrested him. His son says they have driven off with him in two Subaru vehicles. So Raila's bodyguard has been apprehended, of course abducted, and then his spokesperson has also been abducted. Let's move. Makadara MP Aladwa was arrested last evening near Kilimani area, moments after jetting into the city from Mombasa, where he and other MPs from Nairobi had been attending a meeting. And of course, you know that evening, Babu Wino was also arrested. So the government is on an arresting spree. When all this news was trickling in, there was one question that Kenyans were wondering: where is Raila Odinga and what is his safety? That is one thing that people have been asking. Is he safe? Because Raila has developed a strategy just to keep away. And I think he wants to show the country, or the Kenya Kwanza team, that people are not on the streets to fight for Raila Odinga. In fact, it was Raila who was fighting for them. People are there, to fight for their own economic and political liberation. That is why they're there. And I think Raila just wanted to show that with or without him, members of this country, citizens of goodwill, wenye wako na njaa with empty stomachs will still fill the streets to make their point. But that question has been answered. Is Raila Odinga safe? That is the question that many are asking, because someone was telling me, I was chatting me via WhatsApp, that Achado, I didn't vote for Raila Odinga, but I do not want to imagine that someone is harboring intentions of killing Raila. There are people who don't want Raila to be killed. Even if you call an election today, they won't vote for Raila. But when you plan to kill him, when you plan to arrest him, they don't want. So the safety of Raila Odinga is being confirmed by Philip Itali after all this arrest, that he's saying, anyway, I have just been talking to Baba Raila Odinga and loved the music playing in the background. Tres Empoli by Franco Luambolwazo Makiadi. You know what music is therapeutic. Good afternoon. So, of course, I'm one person who is also very happy that at least Raila is safe. The reason I'm happy is because I'm one person who subscribed to this ideology that when you arrest Raila Odinga, the country will be plunged into unmanageable and irreversible chaos. And I really wanted to see him safe. I know of leaders who would not want to be apprehended. But then let us discuss for a minute why exactly the government is on arrest spree, and why they are arresting the close allies of Raila Odinga. One, once Raila had vanished and Raila is keeping it safe, just monitoring how things are moving, the government was thrown into confusion. They are bewildered. They just don't understand what Raila is planning. They don't know his next move. They don't know. Silence is the worst weapon that you can ever give to your enemy. Let me tell you something. Today, if you catch your spouse with another man or with another woman, uko kwa barabara, and you find them talking or hugging or kissing, then you come back to the house and she or he is expecting that you would confront or ask, and you just keep quiet. Things are going on normally. That is so injurious to him or her than confronting them. So Raila is so quiet, and they are wondering, what exactly does he think? Where is his next move? Because someone was joking that Raila can keep quiet, and the next moment you will see him popping up in Rift Valley, in Osinigishu, at the backyard of William Ruto, and that region will be there will be confusion, and you don't know what to do. So they started by arresting his security. Once you arrest the security person, they will take his phone, because I believe that Ogeta had been in constant communication with Raila Odinga as far as from yesterday. Maybe he was with him up to last evening. He's the man who could even be handling part of his itinerary, because when Raila wants to travel somewhere, the bodyguard must know and be moving from one point to the other. So they would want to track Raila's movement. Where is he? What are the plans? They might even try to intimidate him to tell them what exactly they are planning. So the government was really confused. They were caught off guard. They were arresting these people just to show them exactly what Raila is planning, what he wants. They just want to be at pace with Raila, because when you have an enemy whom you don't know what they are planning, I can assure you that surprise beats even the strongest. Chino Achebe once said. Number two, when you arrest Raila's communication director, Dennis Onyango, like that, you cut off communication. It is Dennis who will be updating people what is happening in the country when someone is killed, when another leader is arrested. They will be communicating to people. Now, when you arrest Raila's communication team, then you cut off that communication. And I suspect that next will be Philip Itali, because he's really updating people on what is happening. They must just go for him. They will also be getting more information from Dennis Onyango, because the communication that he's getting is getting from Raila's team, from Raila himself, and so he's got a wealth of information that can help the government, know where Raila is. Someone was telling that they have been looking for Raila Odinga himself to try and talk to him to manage the situation in the country, to call off the Maandamanos, and so maybe Dennis Onyango and the security will tell them where Raila is, and that is exactly what they want. They will know his next move, what is planning. I also want to believe that they are arresting these people for purposes of intimidation. When you hear that Raila's bodyguard has been arrested, Dennis Onyango has been arrested, these are people who are very close to Raila Odinga. People will fear that now we cannot go to the streets, coupled with the fact that yesterday we saw some goons being given pangas and 1,000 shillings to go and cause mayhem in the country. We heard of a vehicle that was stalled at the border when things did not, turn up, because they wanted to find out what was in the vehicle, but the owners of the vehicle were very, slippery, and people suspected that maybe Museveni is aiding Ruto with certain arsenal to come and interfere with the Maandamanos. So people will be afraid. But I've seen the country, burning here and there, the police running battles with the Wananchi. I don't know whether they will succeed. Arresting Raila's close allies is also a coded message. It is like they're telling Raila, we can arrest you. Because when you arrest Raila's bodyguard, that is the security. It is like they're telling him, we would have, if we catch up with you, we will arrest you. Remember, there's been a conversation around, let us arrest Raila. People like Kimani Chungwa, Dennis Itumbi, Moses Kuria, they have been calling for Raila's arrest, and I heard of a conversation that maybe they want to swap Kithure Kindiki and Duale, because they feel that Kithure is taking too long to arrest Raila. They have this general feeling that even if you arrest Raila, nothing will happen. So this is a coded message, and it is a supremacy battle. As you all know, they're telling Raila, we can arrest you. And so this is the reason why they are doing all this. It is also delaying tactics and a diversionary tactics, so that people can start focusing on the people who have been arrested. All this. People like Babu Owino, they are supposed to be helping their constituents, arranging a few things here and there. Once they have been arrested and detained, then the focus will be on them. Maybe the ODM will be arranging on how to go and, secure their freedom. When they focus on their leaders, they won't focus on the Maandamano. It is really diversionary. It might work for them. Because once you arrest Raila's bodyguard, Raila's communication director, spokesperson, Babu Owino, Aladwa, all this, and they will be arresting more, the ODM will sit down, or the Azimio, and they will be focusing on how to secure the freedom of those who have been arrested. So I don't know whether it will work for them, but they are really trying. They really didn't want these demonstrations to move on. But we are praying for peace in the country. We can exercise our democratic rights without killing each other. Wherever Baba is safe. And I also believe that wherever you are, be very safe, even as you continue with the Maandamano. Usiharibu mali ya wenyewe, tafadhali. Don't interfere with those who are demonstrating.